Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Doesn't whatever a spider can. Will he web you up? You probably will, especially in this game. Spider-Man. Fuck you guys. This is a sweet throwback.
I like it.
Always hate
It started off
for effort.
It started off strong, and then Spider-Man.
Buddy Jesus says,
Yeah.
Spiderman.
Welcome back to the Hateful Geeks. I am one of your many hosts, Phil.
and this is Sweeney.
I'm Andy.
And this is Tim.
And this week, first off, we apologize. I don't know. We haven't an episode since our good buddy Skynoceros was on here with us. It's been a couple weeks. This is some shit going on. It is what it is. Real life sucks. Fuck you for judging us. But yes, this week it's been out for a couple weeks. But the Hateful Geeks are going to dig their teeth into probably I'm calling it right now, game of the year.
For me, yeah.
Spider-Man for the PS4.
Woo.
Holy shit, gentlemen. Like, it's not since okay. You remember how I said that, like, movies based on video games are never good?
Yes.
And okay. So typically, video games based on movies also fit that row.
Usually bad.
Yeah, typically not good.
Not good.
However, if anyone remembers and is old enough, I know Andy is, to remember Spider-Man 2.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
For the movie Spider-Man 2, one of the greatest video games ever made. GTA Spider-Man powers.
I would say this is the best. This overtops Spider-Man 2 as the best Spider-Man game.
All right. Well, we're gonna get balls deep into that opinion real quick.
All right.
But for anyone who's questioning, like, should I get a PlayStation? I don't have a PlayStation. Is Spider-Man worth it?
Yes.
This is a fucking system owning game. This is like a game you buy a whole system for.
And for those that you wanted, there is a Spider-Man edition.
There is.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
That sure is pretty.
It's sold out, and
Well,
I'm
you
not
pay like
paying.
$800 for it.
I'm not paying eBay prices to sell the neckbeard fuck that walked into a Target and bought
all
one.
you
He's like,
folks-
now I'm going to sell it.
Yeah, all you fucks that buy like 4 or 5 of the systems, resell them for $800, fuck you.
Not cool, bro. But for anyone who remembers Spider-Man 2, it was very like GTA, open world and going around New York, webbing up bad guys, basically role-playing Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a story in there somewhere against Doc Ock and stuff. But this is sort of like, this has taken that genre, that classic, and done something completely new, but also still kind of staying true to the old. And I think of the four of us, everyone in this room has at least finished the game or knows how it ends.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're listening and you haven't played yet, we apologize. We are spoiling the story tonight. And
Duh.
this is,
Yeah.
that's how Hateful Geeks roll.
Right. You're listening to us, you're going to hear the story. You're going to hear everything. We're going to give you every juicy little tidbit.
You've had 2.5 weeks to play this game and buy a PlayStation. If you haven't done so, and you have, I'm sure you have a good excuse, but I don't care what that is, because there is no excuse for not playing this game. None whatsoever.
Tonight, you will go out and buy it, and you'll play it, and you'll call us and be like, "You were right. Thank you for making me buy this game."
When I was in line for my release copy, there was a guy with an Xbox who's there for NBA 2K19.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "What's all the other people here for?" I was like 3 people were like Xbox, the basketball thingy, and then the rest was like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I get mine for the Xbox," and like half the GameStop just started laughing at the guy.
Oh,
Sucks to be you, bro.
Oh, enjoy your basketball.
But you got Halo Infinite. You'll be all fine.
I was the one nerd at GameStop that picked up both.
That's fine.
I had Spider-Man in one, the Spider-Man Special Edition in one hand, and NBA 2K19 in the other.
Strike him. So yes, okay. Quick show of hands. Who here has finished? Officially finished. Okay, so that's if you're listening and not watching,
you asked us to raise hands on a podcast.
Andy Sweeney and myself. All right, and say present if you haven't even finished the game yet.
Present.
That's Tim. Tim said present.
No. I've had some family stuff and some freelance stuff. happened in the last couple weeks. I just haven't been able to finish it.
Don't bring your logic into here.
Yeah, nobody cares about your real life.
Don't bring your real life issues.
Let me razz you. Come on.
Yeah, man, stop trying to be all serious and shit.
I'm not being serious. I'm just.
Yo, if I had like a PS Vita or something, I would have played this game at a funeral. Like, that's how good it was.
Oh, I mean,
like,
if I had, I'd be playing it at work because I'd be able to.
All right, and whip your dicks out on camera real quick if you platinum the game.
Oh, here it comes.
Just kidding, we didn't do that. But it was me and Andy. Yay, we platinum. We're great.
Yay!
Around. No, we finished the game too fucking quick.
I did have to compare my trophies to yours to see which ones I was missing because they were hidden trophies.
To see who Schwartz is bigger.
No. And I thought for sure that I was missing some shit that was going to just straight up piss me off. And the only thing I was missing was go visit Uncle Ben's grave. I was like, fuck, forgot to go do that. And there are trip mines in the game, so there are gadgets, and it was make people hug by that. And I was like, I just used webs and like the electronic shocking
used
ones.
All the gadgets. I love
Which
the gadgets.
Explains why I platinumed before you, because when I'm in a fight against like 15 like demons or 15 like jail dudes, I'm like, here you go, gadget for you. You get a gadget, and you get a gadget. Everyone gets a gadget.
The web bomb is awesome.
Oh yeah, I was like, web bomb. Oh, awesome. Oh, spider droids. Awesome.
Spider droid.
Like all these little things pop out.
Impact webbing.
Yeah.
Yes, impact.
Like this is like, okay. So let's get our dicks wet, gentlemen. Let's just talk about the story real quick. This is not the 616. This is not your primary Marvel universe.
It is
this game takes. But if you're expecting like, if you keep up with the comics, if you're just expecting like modern, like normal Peter Parker, no, this is like Peter's like graduated from ESU. He's like a scientific lab assistant to Dr. Otto Octavius. There is no Green Goblin and Mary Jane is like a mouse, and she's the reporter. Mary Jane is the reporter at the Daily Bugle. It's kind of, and Miles Morales does play a role in it, but for some strange reason, it's like not Ultimate Miles Morales.
No.
It's so this is
it is a new Miles. This is his own unique story.
Well, I mean, it's its own unique universe.
Yeah,
they've already come out and said it.
They took little pieces of every little thing and kind of like, here, put it all together.
And we'll get to, there are parts that I really like, and then there are parts that I'm pessimistic about.
There are some reimaginings that I liked, and some that I didn't.
So let's just like slap it out. Let's just pros. Best things about Spider-Man. I just want to throw it out there. Mechanics.
Oh yeah.
The swinging, the webbing, like the traversing the city as Spider-Man, flawless victory.
And the different like styles you can do it too. It's not just swinging. You can do like point launches. You can run. It's very fluid.
Double tapping X to fling yourself.
Yeah, you can run and then run off the side of the buildings and then jump off and then
it's very
keep going.
It's very realistic as much as
hot corner around fucking buildings too. Like if you're running down the side, you can
It reminded me of like how the first Spider-Man movie ends, where it's like this shot of him just doing all that around the city, jumping off roofs and swinging around. Like that's what it just kind of felt like to me.
Yeah, it was very seamless. Like all the transitions, all the different movements. You could do tricks, all the different little things you could like do as Spider-Man would do, go flying through the city. It felt almost like there was no effort to it whatsoever.
There was
very intuitive. Very intuitive.
One of the small things I like when you're swinging is that he goes at like the arch of his swings.
How he comes out of it.
Well, there's a couple of like as he's coming up, like there's a couple comic book poses.
Yeah,
like there's like a Todd McFarlane pose.
Yeah, the art is very good in that. Like the realistic, like it feels like you're in Manhattan. Like the landmarks are on point. It's
really
is
Manhattan.
Cool.
It is an exact replica of Manhattan.
They make a quick travel an ability later in the game as you progress. I actually avoid quick traveling as much as possible because I just like swinging.
Yeah,
like, that's half the fun.
Although I kind of like the little cut scenes as you quick travel. With, like you're sitting on the subway,
like people giving you weird looks. Like what?
If you quick travel during the part of the story where the Sable International is taking over the town, you're hiding from them outside of the train.
Oh, that's good. That's pretty good.
And another thing I liked about this too, speaking of quick travel cutscenes, is a lot of games, like you can have multiple different suits, right? But in cutscenes, you're always in the same generic, whatever the starter suit is. This one, whatever suit you pick, you're that suit. Like in every cutscene, which I thought was a really nice touch. Like you don't have to like, well, I'm not wearing that suit. That's stupid.
Right.
Well, that's a testament to the game. That means that when they were showing it, like cutscenes were done using in-game engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this does not feel like, okay. There was a small controversy about reflections in puddles being lowered.
Yeah.
Being released. Fanboys were like, how dare you lower the graphics?
Yeah. For me, it's just like, how much time do you have on your hands?
Have you heard about boat people?
What?
Have you heard about boat people?
Boat people?
I think they've already patched it, but Spider-Man is not meant to swim in this game. And somebody went into the ocean water and went out as far as possible where there is actually a boat out there. And when you get up to it, the graphics of the people sitting on the boat are worse than even like 8-bit.
They're like, they're almost
pixels.
like, they're like triangles.
Yeah. The resolution is so low on them because nobody was intended to go out and see them.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I think you're right when they patched it up, but I saw it like a few days.
How long did it take him to get out there? Because you don't move very fast in the water.
You can't anything out in the water.
I mean,
that's a level of
Spider-Man's
dedication
weakness.
I mean, it's hard enough to get out to the raft.
Pool.
Like,
you've heard the song, right?
So the last achievement I did in the game was the Uncle Ben achievement, which then platinumed the game for me. But it was at the very end. It was after the story had completed.
That's when I did mine.
So when I took a selfie of me over Uncle Ben's grave, there's a spoiler alert. The freshly dug grave of Aunt May is there also.
Yeah.
It's like Spider-Man's like, deuces.
It's like, oh.
Family photo.
Dude, all right, so I've not taken a selfie yet. I didn't know.
If you go into picture mode, like in the menu, you change the camera to selfie.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows
people are using this mode to do lots of cool shit in PS4 share. And like it's like competitions.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to figure it out. I was like, is there a way to do selfie? Because I see all these pictures.
I thought that, and correct me if I'm wrong because you guys have platinumed, but I mean, I guess that I'd be wrong. I thought one of the trophies was that you had to take like, I think it was like 50 selfies in like certain areas and like
No, there's just
there's a
landmarks.
There's landmarks and there's like hidden photo opportunities.
That's
not a part of the
hidden one is not a trophy.
I just assumed
landmarks
it was a trophy.
Is a trophy.
I knew that. Yeah. Okay.
The hidden, one of the last costumes you get in the game unlocks the ability to. It's an ability you can put in your costumes, but it lets you see where the hidden landmarks are in the game. And doing every single hidden landmark, which is just like the normal ones, and they don't show up on the big map. You got to like swing around and find them, or cheat with IGN.
Oh, it pops up in the
or cheat right and just look it up online. Find every little one.
But once you complete it, it's Peter Parker in his ESU t-shirt with a spider mask, and the web slingers wearing like a t-shirt and jeans.
All right,
no special powers for it, but that's the secret Easter egg.
Yeah.
So. Story-wise, okay. So fighting. Did anyone else get an Arkham Asylum feel?
Oh, absolutely. It's Arkham. Which pissed me off because when your Spidey senses go off in the Arkham games, you hit triangle to dodge. I kept hitting triangle at the first beginning of this, getting my ass handed to me. I was like, it's circle.
If you read the directions, it tells you.
Oh, I know. I read them, but that does not stop your instinct.
Just pay attention to them.
I mean, I was fine with circle.
Yeah.
You just need to work on your reaction times. It's fine.
Graphics wise, I'm going to give it a 10.
Oh, graphics. Story. It was gorgeous.
The combat mechanics, 10. Like, it really felt that was beautiful to watch too. Some of the shit you do to people, like when you're beating the fuck out of them while making fun of them as Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was telling them my nitpicky side, there was a few like faces, like graphical, the way the faces were done. I wasn't a big fan of Peter's. I wasn't a fan of Mary Jane's.
I don't.
I see what
Doc
you're saying.
Ock I thought looked really good, but some of them just looked a little off.
I thought they looked like real people to me.
I thought
they almost looked like something you'd see in the movie AI.
I know what you're talking about, like the way Jude Law looked in that.
And this is just, I'm saying nitpicking, very nitpicking. Like overall, it's a beautiful game.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't have any issue with their faces.
Like you're able to admit your nitpicking is a good. That's positive.
Like the Aunt May characterization was spot on. The way she looked, I was just kind of like, you don't look like an Aunt May.
She's an old woman. Yeah. I mean, like I said before recording, she looks like she's in her mid 60s. Peter looks like he's in his like early 20s. Like it's fine.
It is late 20s. It's after college. Like late 20s, so it's like mid-late 20s.
Mid to late 20s. Yeah, it's fine.
This isn't Aunt May in like her 40s.
This isn't Marissa Tomei, and he's not high school.
I don't think we need to like, get all deep up in there and about the entire plot, but favorite highlights. Let's talk about some highlights of the story, because I gotta feel like for a non-616 Spider-Man universe, this is a compelling story.
Yeah.
It is. I like the idea of Dr. Octopus being Peter's mentor a lot.
It's great. It was a really good twist. It humanizes Doc Ock.
Yeah. I wish that there was a bit more of a scene where he turns into Doc Ock rather than how
Peter
they
shows
reveal
up
it.
and he's Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Well,
Look at my suit.
yeah,
Right.
and I liked the fact that you knew you were helping Doc Ock build his suit. Like you knew that was happening.
Yeah.
Like as a fan, you know what's happening, right? But like it still kept you on the edge of the seat because you didn't know quite when he was going to go full evil. Like you kind of saw it a little bit, and he kind of went back. I'm fine.
Like you saw these hints, like especially like when you hear his journals and like especially in his voicemails and stuff like that. But I thought that there would just be a scene where it like that thing would just like latch onto his neck,
and
like
he'd go crazy.
Yeah. Like I thought there would be like a go crazy scene rather than like here I am.
Well, I actually really
like he's always crazy though. That's sort of what the story implies. The suit just sort of
amplifies
removes.
that.
Yeah, it really amplifies and like kind of like a symbiote would.
Yeah.
It makes that fucking anger and jealousy just come to the forefront.
And for me, like that's one of my favorite parts of the story. I was just like, whoa! Like I thought it was really awesome when they did release like the Sinister Six and they all came out, and you're like, oh shit, they're all out, and then like you're just getting your ass beat, like oh fuck, and then Doc Ock all of a sudden shows up. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's when I opened the statue because I didn't open it until then. Yeah, because it said giant spoiler warning.
Okay.
I remember when the trailer came out and we were all trying to wonder, because remember the trailer ended with that scene and Peter looks up and he was like, you? And we're like, oh, who's he talking about?
Yeah.
Right.
But I agree with you guys. Like it was cool as fans. You see what's coming. It's it's a no-brainer.
Sorry. I thought you were done.
No. So some of that I'm cool with. Like we all know Doc Ock is going to be bad. Some of it though was highly telegraphed. Like Lee being Mr. Negative was telegraphed, like hit you in the face with, hey, I'm bringing you this evil mask. He's like, you shouldn't be doing this story. It's okay. It was obvious when he tells Mary Jane to not pursue the story anymore. Okay, he doesn't want him on the case.
I mean, no offense, but like, I mean, I already know who Mr. Negative is anyway.
Yeah, so like this is not a new character.
This isn't a new character.
No,
so
I don't know much about Mr. Negative.
Yeah, so for me, I was just like, I heard like they pretty much took Mr. Negative straight from the book.
It's just not a character that a lot of people. Yeah, see, he is not an A-tier Spider-Man villain.
No,
he's definitely a newer villain.
Yeah, they introduced him with Brand New Day, and that was about 10 years ago.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like they did kind of like you had like this really good guy, and they're like, oh, I want to go pursue this evil, and he's like, don't do that.
If you're talking about like from the character's perspective, if they were like figuring it out right away, yes, I agree. It was written on the fucking wall,
right?
Exactly.
Like, smartly demons. He knows. He's like, he's the only guy who knows about the mask. Peter was like,
but even then, Peter kind of said like he was even like, why doesn't he want me to do that? Like he kind of like. Kind of knew.
Wink, nudge, nudge.
Right.
But I liked him as a villain. I thought actually the story with him was actually pretty good.
His origin is good. It gave him purpose. Why he's doing what he's doing.
And maybe because I didn't really know Mr. Negative, so I didn't really know the backstory behind it. I thought like, oh, this is a new villain I don't know much about. Like, you know, there wasn't the same old villains over and over again.
I would have rather had like a more classic Spider-Man villain in his place, because you got pretty much the cream of the crop for the Sinister Six, and then like here's Mr. Negative. So is he like Mr. Sinister 6.5?
Right,
because that's 7, brother. I don't know if you know how to do
Sinister 7.
I just Mr. Negative. I get like you're trying to like, hey everybody, check out a comic once in a while.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think they also wanted it all to revolve around Norman. You know what I mean? Like they all wanted like. That to be like the crux, like Octavius and then Mr. Negative.
They wanted to make it their own.
I mean, also, I would imagine that Norman's the villain if they do too.
Oh my God! All right, so let's just do this then, since Tim just wanted to like jump that, just go right for it and sprint for it. Let's talk about the fucking ending.
Yeah,
please. Let's talk about the ending.
So
I've spoiled. I'm on the start of Act 3. But I've spoiled myself on everything.
Okay, so you have just had to fight the reef, and
I did the raft thing, which I was going to say earlier. It just shocks me that they showed that at E3 and it's 2/3 of the way through the game rather than the
I said that
opening
as
of
well.
game.
I was a little disgruntled that wasn't the opening of the game.
But I did like a couple missions and then saved Aunt May and Miles at like a feast when it's on fire. Yeah, that's the last story mission I did.
Oh, okay.
So
you're not far.
You'll get to the point where
really
you get to fight Electro. Then you go to where Rhino is. So they're all a little separated out. Then you get to go
if he's
fight.
past the fire point, he's done that already.
Okay, so you're coming up to you fight Electro and Vulture at the same time. Which is
a fun fight.
It's a really fun fight. That was so much fun.
They're both flyers, so you got to stay elevated up with them while fighting both of them.
You got to web back his like feather blades right back in.
Yeah, a little annoying. And then you go fight Rhino in a like a shipping yard, and Scorpion is there, so you fight both of them. But Rhino, you have to use the terrain to damage him.
Interesting. I just assumed that all 6 would be their own fight.
No,
well, not like a fight each. Is what
no, they combine it. It was really. I thought it was really clever on their part to like do that because it made the fights because like the boss fights a little underwhelming. It was like 1-on-1. Like you like fight Fisk in the beginning. It was kind of like
and that's
whatever.
That's like the open, and then like Shocker,
whatever. But then you get to fight these guys together. And you're kind of like, whoa, this is really it's really like intense and kind of
While we're talking about villains, real quick before we get to the end of the story. I think I like Tombstone as a biker gang boss than a mob boss.
He was cool.
Definitely.
He was cool. Yeah. I like Tombstone.
Sons of Anarchy Tombstone is way better than Corleone wannabe Tombstone.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I thought he was kind of a cool character. I mean, I don't know much about him in the comics, but like I thought it was kind of cool when you do fight him in the side stories, you kind of like
he's one character in the comics that's like Hammerhead, where like anytime there's like this mob vacuum, he tries to like come in and get power, and then he's like,
Mask, Andy.
He's Peter's
Black Mask.
He's kind of a shittier Black Mask,
right? Well, I thought it was cool. I don't know if you've done the side missions yet and fought him.
I've done the 2 leading up to him, but I haven't done the final one with him yet.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Anyway,
no, I don't. At this point, I've
you eventually find like kind of like a sub cure for his like condition,
like his invincibility.
Yeah,
and you essentially give it to him, and you fight him. And at the end of that fight, he's kind of like, "I respect you, man." Like it's kind of like a cool, like,
all right.
But Sweeney's underselling it. During that fight, you're literally like chloroform choking.
You're like on his back, like holding it on his face.
You're like punch, you've stuck it.
Because he's like Spider-Man's like found the cure. I think.
Well, yeah, because he fights like his little young underlings that have
because they do the
inhaler.
Mask. Then just remind me of just Dennis Hopper and
I enjoyed that side story. The Black Cat missions were boring as fuck.
Like,
just take pictures.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird. I didn't know why. I think
it just sets up. All it does is set up DLC.
Right.
Yeah. That's all it is leading into the City that Never Sleeps DLC.
Right.
And so yeah, we talked about beating up the 3 pairs of the 2 pairs,
right?
The Sinister Six, and you beat up Mr. Negative. And then you're at Oscorp, and you go to the roof of Oscorp, and you showdown with Doc Ock.
Which is a cool fight.
Very cool.
But Parker has brought his anti-Doc Ock spider suit because that's a thing.
Yeah,
it's like a reinforced metal suit.
I've heard that's an alternate suit in it.
Yeah, the plating on it is the same material that makes Doc Ock's arms.
Essentially, like Peter gets. I don't know if you got this part, but Peter gets in a fight with Doc Ock, he's fighting Mr. Negative, but like trying to save him at the same time. And at the end, Doc Ock comes in and pretty much just hands Peter his ass. Like
almost literally folds him up.
As in every story, the first time Spider-Man faces Doc Ock, he loses tremendously.
So, Peter's like, I don't know if I can do this, blah, blah, blah. So he goes back to the lab and it's like, well, if you have this, I have something I can make. And he makes like this new suit.
And in a game mechanics perspective, the suit like recharges your gadgets a lot faster. So you're basically like flipping out gadgets, and I guess because it's the same metal, it doesn't hurt so much when he gets walloped.
Right.
Whatever.
Sure.
The point is like you've come to this like your mentor has turned evil on you. He knows it's fucking Peter underneath the mask. He doesn't even like pretend like he's like I've known the whole time.
The reveal was pretty cool though, because
that part I didn't know. Like because
you said you've seen where Aunt May like kind of coughs blood into her mask, so she has this virus.
She has the devil's breath. Yeah.
So when you're fighting Ock and he's just wailing on you and he breaks like the plating off of you're kind of exposed and you're trying to hide from him. He's like, I know it's you, Peter. Like I've known the entire time. He goes, so if you've known the entire time who I am, you poisoned May on purpose.
Right.
And that's when Peter's finally like, fuck you.
Pissed.
Good. Good.
Oh, yeah. And in the vein of talking about one-liners that are kind of like, good from the villains, did you guys hear what, oh shoot, what's his name?
This is great. Is it Scorpion?
Yes, thank you.
Rhino.
Scorpion.
Okay.
Did you hear what Scorpions?
You had 8 villains.
I know. It was like blank. It was just gone. So you, Scorpion said. So we were fighting Scorpion and Rhino at the same time. He was like, if I was your Uncle Ben, I would have jumped in front of a bullet too. I was like, oh my god.
One of the best superpowers in the game, and fuck anyone who disagrees with me on this one of the best superpowers comes from the cartoon Spider-Man suit.
Yes.
And it's just called quips. And it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do damage. It doesn't make you go faster. It doesn't help with anything.
Is he just more of a smartass?
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't even stun anyone.
Yeah, it does. So when you use it, it sends out a shockwave, and that kind of stuns everyone. But then they come right back. Like it's very, very brief. And then as you're fighting them, you're just throwing out quips.
You just talk shit the whole time.
The last suit I unlocked, I don't think I bought it, but the last suit I unlocked was like the Mark 4, like the one that has like the red hood looking helmet.
Yeah, the Iron Man.
Yeah,
one.
So many bad fucking ones
in this game.
That's the Mark 4 armor suit he wore the last time he faced his incarnation of Sinister Six, because they beat it out of him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of the suits I liked. Some of them are just like, why?
I just liked all of them just because whatever. I was like, whatever, they're fun suits to use.
There's a suit for everybody in this game.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. But there's not the suit
everybody
for everybody. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Actually,
they're going to have it. They don't have the symbiote yet.
We'll talk about it in a minute. Let's get there.
Okay.
Come on, Andy. Even you're like, we have to have continuity. You can't have
Let's talk about the you guys talk about the end before we get into the costumes and what other costumes we wanted rather than what we got.
So Peter has successfully beaten Doc Ock for round 2. Good job, Pete. It took you 2 tries, and you had to build a whole suit to do it. Anyway,
it happens.
Peter's pissed. They get him off the fucking, he's off the, they get him out of his arm suit. They send him to the raft. Yeah. He's like, his degenerative muscle disorder is kicking in full time. And he's just like, I'm going to get out of here, Peter. I swear to God. And it's like, totally setting up for Superior Spider-Man arc at some point. They have to. If they don't, they're wasting, like, shut up and take my money.
Right.
But after that, so Peter had, the whole point of this was Peter needed to get the cure for Death's Breath. Devil's breath. That's like a basic like biological weapon that's all over New York, poisoning people. So long story short, he's got the cure, but there's only enough to either make more cure, which will take like a day and a half, or cure one person.
Right.
And Aunt May's like on her deathbed, like she's like probably the furthest along of anybody. And Peter's sitting there with like, I don't give a fuck with some doctor. Who was that? Anyway.
It was the guy who synthesized the cure.
Oh, it was the guy from Oscorp.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
Should have been Kirk Connors.
She's like, Peter's sitting there like, Peter's a Spider-Man. He's like in there, I got the cure, everybody, I'm Spider-Man. And like May is like, he's like, the guy tells him, you have a choice. We can cure May, or I can take this and I'm going to go synthesize a shit ton more cure and cure everybody. And of course, like Spider-Man's like, oh no. The great ultimate choice between everybody and my aunt, who's been around for 125 years, comic books. So Pete, like, under the mask is like, what do I do? Like, he starts like begging May to like tell him what to do. Like, how do I fix this? And she's like, Pete, kind of look at my nephew's face. Fucking May.
Everybody knows.
The entire time.
Right.
Who the fuck didn't know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker? Jameson? Is J. Jonah the only one?
That's why he's so angry all the time.
May's just like, for a smart guy, you're really fucking stupid. I've always known you're Spider-Man. We just let you have your little fantasy. So she's like, there's no choice here. Like, help everybody. You know what I want. I'll see your Uncle Ben soon. Fucking Aunt May, man, dies. And I gotta say, I usually don't give 2 fucks about Aunt May, but I got choked up.
Oh yeah, it was really an emotional scene. It really was. I agree.
Like, Andy, I know you didn't like the goofy facial expressions through the graphics, but dude, like the look on like goofy looking Peter's face is like heartbreaking, man.
Yeah.
And like, I haven't hit that scene yet, but everything I've seen before it, it's almost weird like saying this about a video game, but it's very well acted.
It is. I think it really is.
It's very well acted. Like the guy who plays J. Jonah Jameson, like I had to stop and be like, "Is that J.K. Simmons?"
Like it's great. I mean, he's very like, what's the name of that guy who does InfoWars, that jack off?
Adam Jones.
Adam G. Yeah, he's just like that's the J. Jonah Jameson.
There's too many J's.
J3, whatever you want to call him. He's like very much just like right wing podcaster.
Yeah.
He's just like making up bullshit, finding conspiracy theories.
Because like
it's all right wing on Spider-Man.
Because he's retired now, right, from the paper or whatever.
He took a break and he's no longer with the Bugle.
Yeah.
So, but I gotta tell you, man, like there was a point I was getting kind of annoyed with him in the game. I was like, "Fuck you."
I mean, his like whatever you want to call it, podcast or whatever, it comes up a lot.
Well, it's kind of cool. I liked it that way because like as you do the side missions and little things on the side, like he'll pop up with a little story about it. Like that was kind of cool.
One thing that I thought was funny was because of my schedule, I didn't play it for a few days. So I'm back in it for like about a minute. And a podcast comes on about not seeing Spider-Man in a while and how good it is, and I was like, "That's great."
They have like great stuff with that. And
I thought that was really good.
You do like a side mission to capture this guy. You like capture all these pigeons to get them back for like their owner.
Yeah,
and then he comes on. It's like, why is Spider-Man snatching up pigeons? Do you want to know why? Because he's eating them.
Like it's really small touches like that make this game for me.
Now there is an option to turn off Jonah in the game if you no longer want Jonah to pop up. You're getting sick of his fucking insane right wing propaganda,
right? And
you want him to just go the way of the dinosaur, turn his ass off.
Right?
It's just I think Spider-Man's right. Well, you were obviously wrong. I'm gonna hang up on this collar now.
At one point, like he says that he's like,
good.
Well, my intern's telling me I need to take my meds again. I'll be back.
Yeah,
remember that one? I'm gonna fire my intern, and then he's gonna rehire himself, and then properly screen the next guest. Diet Coke. So yeah, that's the tear-jerking ending, and like at this point in time, like Peter lost Aunt May, lost his mentor, ain't got no job, ain't got shit to do.
Where I'm at, he doesn't have an apartment.
Yeah, the only thing that is really kind of good is he sort of reconciles with Mary Jane because apparently they're not dating at the beginning of this.
Right.
This is very Dan Slott post Brand New Day, like.
Well, I mean, they're both in their...
Mary Jane and Peter are not together.
Yeah, I mean, they're both in their 20s, like not married. They've dated, but split up. Like, I'm going to assume they weren't married.
I think this is post selling his soul to Mephisto to get his identity unremembered. Whatever. We'll just agree to disagree.
Right,
it's fine.
Yeah.
But okay, so. Yeah, he kind of reconciles with Mary Jane thanks to the death of his aunt. He got that sympathy bone. Good for you, Peter. After that, though, Miles Morales moves in with him.
Yeah,
and they're roommates now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that one I didn't know either.
Fucking spoilers. Miles Morales is also a Spider-Man.
Yeah, he got bit by the spider that was inside of Norman's like hidden lab.
Yeah, like I heard that happens, but I don't know what leads up into that.
If you guys didn't think Miles Morales was going to become a Spider-Man in this game, then you have not been paying attention.
Right.
Just stop.
So people who were upset that the Miles Morales costume isn't in it because it's not fucking Miles Morales.
So Andy, we were very upset when we heard in interviews that there are no symbiotes in this game. But was that true?
To a point.
I'm very excited for the post-credit scene.
But so Norman has Harry in a Star Wars style back to tank.
Back to tank.
He's all sick. He's in this back to tank, and you see this gooey, what looks like symbiont stuff in the tank with him. Norman comes up and he's like, "I'm going to heal you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get you better." And he puts his hand on the glass, and then you get the symbiont to come up and touch the glass too. So here's where I am, because that's how they end the game.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the origin of the symbiont, I'm completely fine with it. It is almost like the ultimate where they're creating it as a cure.
It's like it's a cancer cure basically.
If they're making the symbiote this way, cool. If they're making Venom this way, if Venom is Harry Osborn, fuck right off.
All right. I agree to a point. Now, I agree that yes, I want to see Brock in the suit, but not before I see Peter in the suit.
Exactly.
Do I think that you're going to actually see Harry outside of the Bacta-tank wearing this Venom symbiote as Venom? No. I think this is very much like they grew. He's growing the symbiote to cure his son. The opening of the next game hopefully will be Harry's degenerative disorder has been cured. What do we do with this symbiote now?
Right.
Then goes Spider-Man, Brock, and then Venom's the villain of the next movie with Green Goblin.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. Like I think the scenario in my head is that, but like Peter breaks into Oscorp or there's something going on again, and then it lashes onto him. The first act is like you can switch between. If let's say it's in 3 act stages like this one, and then it leads into because maybe like he sees that and like, okay, what else can I do? And then he does the Goblin formula.
Yeah.
And then
the only thing that has me worried is because he's talking to Harry, and that's when the symbiote reacts. So is that Harry through the symbiote?
It's got to be
Harry through the symbiote,
or is it just
like
the
heal
symbiote?
him.
And
if
I'm sorry, but
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man, the movie Spider-Man 3, the whole reason that they said that they cast Topher Grace as Eddie Brock was because they wanted somebody similar to Peter, so it looked like the polar opposite of like a Peter. So if they're going to go that route in this game and be like, oh, we want Harry to be Venom, so it's around Peter's age and it's Peter, like, no, fuck off.
It's
Please
a different universe. They're gonna. I don't think they're. I think that too many people would want Eddie Brock as Venom. There's small nods to Eddie Brock in the game, so he's in the universe.
He's in the universe, yeah.
So, I mean,
but you get your symbiote, so
yeah, you're gonna get your symbiote,
and you get your black suit,
and you'll get it.
But they're right; they deserve their own fucking game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are we going to get them as a DLC, or will it be Spider-Man 2?
I don't think it's going to be DLC. A whole game needs to be dedicated to the symbiote and Green. I mean, the end of this game is setting up Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, and symbiote suits arc. It's going to be phenomenal. And maybe even end on a Superior Spider-Man note.
Right. I mean, and it might be like an expansion pass to the game, because they might want to keep the engine the same, but I don't think there is going to be like, oh, download this new, like the Black Cat stuff. Like, it's going to be like, download this little side story. Yeah. No, it's going to be like a full-blown new game.
And it should be. I do think that they showed a little bit of potential Goblin. When you find Norman's hidden lab, you put on this helmet.
The helmet.
Yeah,
is that going to be Goblins?
I've heard that there's a helmet, and then it looks like to be like a Goblin bomb prototype.
Yes. Yeah, there are definitely
there's grenade prototypes, and there's a helmet.
Not orange, but they were
they're just like round, like the click grenade types. Yeah. So there's definitely like hints towards it. I mean, obviously you're going to have the Superior Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah,
Ock's still there,
but I could see Superior Spider-Man being the teaser at the end of
the
2.
third one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's the suit we never got, and that and black suit Spider-Man.
Right.
So I mean, left out symbiote. I mean, there's like 40 suits in this fucking game.
Yeah,
and the two you leave out are the two most asked for suits.
Yeah, like I think in my the scenario in my head is that like 2 ends with Ock in Peter's body.
Yeah, I think they just didn't want to blow their load all in the first game for all the suits. They wanted to like give you something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And if they gave you every suit like right away, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm done now. Cool."
There's a couple that I would have put in there. Like, you don't really need the Fear Itself suit because that's a terrible story anyway. I would have dug the Future Foundation suit.
Or Spidey in his Fantastic Four suit.
The paper bag.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, I kind of want that. Is Peter in the Fantastic Four suit with the paper bag over his head with the eye holes poked out? I want that suit.
Well, they have isn't like the one suit you unlock once you do everything? It's just him in his underwear.
Underoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, like him and like the mask.
He's got his mask and his underwear, which there is a scene in the game when you
look like that.
In that.
Yeah.
After you get off the trip.
The acid from the scorpion. Yeah. Literal acid.
Literal.
You
have no sound from you.
You have no sound from you.
Sorry. So at this point in time, I think it's pretty straightforward. Now they do have New York already made for this game, so they could technically just release DLC forever.
Right. They could, yeah.
Just add to the storyline.
Just expand out.
I think they want to. Let's be honest, they want to make money too. And well, you can make money on DLC. You're going to make money more on a game release.
Yeah, I mean, it is like already having New York though. It could be just quicker for Spider-Man 2 to come out because they don't have to build that. They've already got that.
Get the sword too. Sorry.
What do you?
Quit trying to multitask.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing it right now.
You're not doing it great.
You're not multitasking.
Shut up, fuckers.
So,
all right. So we spoiled the fucking ending.
What was your suit? What suit do you use? Majority, suit?
Yeah. During game, while I was making my way towards the end, when I unlocked 2099, I rocked 2099 for a while. I also used the
Which one, the black or the white suit?
You mean the blue?
I started off with the black, and it's called black.
It's called the black suit.
The blue and red, and then I went to a white Parker Industries suit once I got it. But I also really enjoyed the I don't know, I can't remember what it's called. It's not the Mark 6, but it's like it looks like his normal suit, but it's got like a blue glowy spider, and it's red and blue and kind of armory. It's post Superior.
It's the Parker Industries one when like right after Superior Spider-Man, because like the spider emblem it glows, but I can't think.
I know what you're talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about though. Yeah,
but it's red and blue, and but I like the way that.
I know which one you're talking about. Like a metallic.
Cool.
Yeah.
I
liked the comic suit wearing that one. I thought it was fun to like have like a comic character running around in a giant like detailed city.
Very like Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. I like the stealth suit a lot, like the black with like the green. I thought that was a really cool suit.
I've done.
Tim liked the wrestling suit.
I actually haven't done the wrestling one. I've unlocked it. The two that I've used the most are the Scarlet Spider one, but I've used the Homecoming suit a lot.
Yeah,
I pretty much wore. I wore Homecoming.
Ben Reilly.
Yeah, I've never once worn the Scarlet Spider.
I will not touch the Ben Reilly suit.
I love it because it's bad.
Homecoming is the one that I wore. They call it the Stark suit.
Yeah.
So I wore that the majority of the time, or his repaired, just classic, the classic suit. That's what I've rocked.
I also like the Iron Spider suit just because I like the
Iron Spider was fun. I love the super ability.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite power in the game?
Oh, geez.
Spider Bro.
Spider Bro, you like the little drone?
Spider Bro.
You call your bot in and
my favorite one's the Web Blossom. It's one of the first ones you get. You literally just
that's a good one.
Poof, and like everything just flies against the walls.
That one's pretty good too. Yeah.
I also like the Shocker ability. You get like the electricity punches. That's pretty cool. That one.
I like the one where it insta kills people, but you also can get insta kills.
That's the very last one. Yeah, it's like everyone dies in one hit, but so do you.
Yeah,
it works with web attacks. Yeah. So I'm literally just like firing web and just murdering people left and right.
Yeah, that was a cool one. What else is kind of cool?
Quips is fun. I didn't know it stunned people. I never really got that.
Yeah, Quips is cool.
Never saw that happen. I'd like talking.
I like the legs. The legs are kind of cool to pop out, and you can
Iron Spider's power.
Yeah. There's so many different, like, because you have all the abilities for each suit, which I like that they make that you can miss and match, because I would have hated, like, you have to wear a specific suit just to get that power.
Yeah.
You could wear any suit with any power.
I like that combination. And I also like the gadgets or the enhancements you can put on the suits to give you additional powers. Like, one of my favorite ones is if you get hit, it electrifies that person.
Yes.
That's a really good one.
The whole time.
I like the one that, what the hell is it called? Webbing gives you extra focus.
Yeah. Yep.
And there's another one later on that I basically did anything I could to like build focus as fast as possible. And then there's like a power that you get that lets you like double finish people when your focus short bar is filled. So you can do two guys at once.
Right.
Like that shit was brutal.
And then you also have the one where like if you hit square right before you land an attack, it builds extra focus. So you have like those that just allow you to generate a bunch of focus. So you can just like pretty much just finish people like left and right. That's not bad.
The combat is very, very deep and incredibly fun, but I gotta tell you, it does get a little repetitive when you're like saving your fifth hostage crisis in the middle of the street.
Well, especially in like the third act where you can't go 2 or 3 blocks without like, oh, here's a prison thing, or hey, there's a sniper taking a shot at you.
Pardon me, New York, but when I finished my allotted 5 out of 5 crimes, I'm done. I mean,
I've platinumed the game and I go back in and it's like thug crime going on. Cops need help. I'm like, fuck off.
What my tax dollars paying for.
I'm done.
That was another cool part of the game I did like too, was once like the raft went down and all the prisoners got out. You had like just random like people around the city like that would just like take shots at you as you would go by. And I was like, that's kind of a cool touch. And if you did beat that group, they wouldn't show up again. But like, I thought that was kind of a fun touch. And then you had Sable after you too.
Yeah,
the city feels lived in, like for the way it's designed and for like the way that if you go on the street level, there's an achievement for high five.
Yeah, 10 you can high five people.
10 people get your trophy.
Like it feels like a real city. Like it feels like New York. Mm-hmm. All the fucking landmarks in the game, like they're all the best references. You can go to like fucking like Murdoch Attorney at Law. You can go to like Alias Investigations.
The Sanctorum, the bar with no name.
Right.
Yeah.
You can go to top of Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
There's a trophy for sitting on top of the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is so many amazing Easter eggs. This was a labor of love. Oh, and the two suits you don't see in the game, the Sam Raimi suit and the Black Spider-Man suit, are like little dolls on like somebody's like desk stand through a window in an apartment building somewhere.
Oh, that's cool.
That's kind of cool.
Like the amount of detail that went into this shit is ridiculous. And as we talked about in our last episode with Skynosaurus, there's the wedding proposal that still hasn't been taken.
Leave it in.
Poor bastard.
Leave it in.
Favorite gadget. I know Andy said he liked the exploding web bombs.
I kind of like that.
And
yeah.
the electric shocks.
Electric webs.
Because they would chain react.
Yeah.
So if you could get a group of people together and hit one person with it, it gave you that moment to either just finish them all off or recoup, heal up a little bit.
Yeah, I really like the trip mines. I thought that was really kind of funny just to watch somebody like, you're gonna, get
walk right into it.
I loved the impact webs.
Automatically puts them in a wall, which is awesome.
Yeah, I loved impact webs because you could like literally hit somebody and they go flying like 30 feet backwards and get into a wall. That's really
especially
efficient.
for like the larger thugs that annoy the fuck out of me.
So my favorite is a combination, actually. I like throwing the web bombs that Andy talks about, and then the one that does levitation that like puts them up in the air. And then while they're all webbed but floating in the air, jumping up and using the force push and knocking them all against the wall simultaneously. It insta clears maps. Like our fights like on the street and shit.
Yeah.
The little mini spider bots.
Yeah,
like,
little guys that fly out and shock people. Like
This was great because Peter's an inventor. This is the Parker that, like, this was a honest adaptation of Parker. Like, he's funny, he's kind of nerdy, he's awkward, but he's a genius. He's a fucking scientific genius. And I think this was really well done for a non-main canon storyline.
I agree.
Even with the goofy faces, Andy.
and they even dive more into that too with the little like side, not missions, but the little like you do like the the spectrograph and try to identify particles, and you do like the circuit board and you try to like get the circuits to go through the right, the right voltage. I thought that was really cool. Like it's a little break from like the main stuff.
I would intentionally go back to Ox Lab to try to do those.
Yeah, it's like a little side break and you can kind of like do a little fun stuff.
The mini puzzle games are awesome. They're a really good distraction from main storyline and they fit into narrative.
Right.
But there are some glaring problems with this game, and there are not a lot of them. And this is probably the only one that I think Andy and I discussed this at some point through text message. But when you're having so much fun being Spider-Man and you're like just zipping around the city and you're beating the shit out of supervillains and you're stopping car crimes, and then everyone's just like, stop it. You're having a little too much fun there, mister. Go do a Mary Jane mission.
Yeah, go be sneaky.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I kind of like understood like, oh, this is part of the story. They want to see they want you to see it from a different perspective, which is cool. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of boring, but I was like, okay, fine. It's taking like 2 minutes. I'll get done with it.
Grand Central Station's Mary Jane stealth mission. I was like, why the fucking end? Just fucking end. Do it.
The one where she's like telling Spider to go.
Yeah, and you're trying to get to the bomb to disarm the bomb.
Yeah, I didn't mind. I thought that was better than the other ones.
Just long.
Yeah, it was.
The Sable International headquarters one, that was just boring. Like this stuff is like, you can't like give me the powers of that a spider can, and then go make me play an annoying barrel-faced ginger who doesn't understand like what a warrant is.
It didn't bother me that much. I mean, I get it. It was kind of like boring, but I was like, okay, cool. It's part of the story. I gotta get through it.
Like if I'm going to play as something that's not Spider-Man, it better be Spider-Bot again. Because there is one where you get to be Spider-Bot and you're crawling through like
there's two.
Central Park and everything.
Miles Morales' mission is basically just a Mary Jane mission, which sucks because I think that Miles as a Spider-Man alternative in the next game is going to be amazing.
Right.
Like, because he's got different set of powers. He's got the stinging and the camouflage. Like, he can go predator camouflage.
Yep.
Like, that's going to be amazing combat.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And they were like maybe not needed so much for like, you know, having fun, but they were needed for the story. And they just like, here, have a different perspective. And that was okay, cool. Whatever.
I'll track my statement. Hold on a second. There is one Miles mission that's actually fun. That's the one where you're hiding from the rhino as he wrecks a shipping yard.
Yeah.
That one's pretty cool.
And he has like the hacking thing, which I thought was kind of a cool touch, you know.
Yeah, it's almost as awesome as Mary Jane pushing over boxes.
Right. Like, hey, noise over here.
Distracting things.
Noise over here.
Right.
So
it's like,
have you? Sorry,
my last thing. My pleasure section of my brain, like, just because it's peaking, doesn't mean you need to like slow me down. Don't worry about me. If I'm kirking out on how awesome your game is, don't throw me a Mary Jane because you think I need to take a break. That's not your choice to make. I'll stop playing when I'm damn good and ready.
I'll get out of the pool when I won.
Right. No, I agree. They were boring, but
so have you guys noticed Peter kills a lot in this game?
What? Wait a minute. Whoa.
So
who the fuck?
So I get it. I've seen where it's like, hey, you get an achievement if you kick these guys off of the top of a building, and most of the time when you swing back out, they are webbed to the side. Not all of them.
Yeah, but it's like there's no guarantee that you killed that person.
They're pretty dead. But there is one, and I've actually seen video, and it happened to me, and then I saw somebody actually posted a video also. You go to save people in a car crash, and you get there, and as you're saving them, thugs show up to interfere. I webbed a guy, and he's stuck to a car that was tipped over. Then I go up and I pull the guy out of the car, and as you're swinging away, it goes into the slow motion. So you got to move your joystick over and web above the person. The guy is stuck to the car. That then explodes, and I'm like, "Oh, I just fucking killed him!" I'm like, "Yes."
Well, he had it coming.
He did have it.
It's like it's Ra's al Ghul rule. He shouldn't have been there. He was in the wrong place. He doesn't have to save him.
You didn't necessarily kill him. You just didn't stop him from being exploded.
Well, I mean, I did web him to the thing that's about to explode.
You didn't know the car was going to explode at the time.
Then why are you pulling the people out real fast?
Because it's on fire. Whatever.
Oh no, the game. Oh no, the game had a glitch. Oh no.
I think that's a reach. But okay, Andy. Spider-Man doesn't kill any kids. Sorry, it doesn't happen.
Like, I don't know. Like this is the most fun I've had with a video game in a very long time.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just dumb fun, you know. And as I said earlier, like I think this is the best Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
Oh, hands down, best Spider-Man game ever made.
Like Spider-Man 2 was at the top of that. And now it's been outdone for me.
My only complaint is I don't feel like there's enough content. I think it's too short.
And
that's just me.
What, Spider-Man 2?
No, this game was too short.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it's too short.
I don't think it is.
You guys also powered through it.
Yeah, I don't think.
In my defense, it's not exactly a difficult game to power through. It does. You don't have to be a fucking like a leading member of Mensa.
No, right. I'm not saying that you have to like be intelligent to do it. I'm just saying like if you
there's a lot of time sink into it.
Yeah, there is a lot of time.
The Taskmaster,
right?
Shit.
You just got to be efficient about how you pick up quests and shit.
Well, that's all. What we're saying is you chose to do it that way. The normal person is not going to choose to do it that way.
I was very meticulous about my I was like, all right, I need to like speed travel here, and then I can hit this, that, this, and this. Right. And I'll speed travel here, do this, that. I was like, why am I doing this to myself?
I think that what Arkham Asylum was the Batman, this is the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I think it's set the bar. It is the bar for Spider-Man now.
I think it's the bar for like Marvel, like how Arkham Asylum is the bar for DC.
I haven't even played a Marvel game outside of this, really.
Rocksteady has already come out and said that they are indeed like just how this has blown up that genre again.
Response,
they came back out and they're like, yeah, we are working on something, and the rumor is it's a Justice League.
Well, now Marvel has said that, like their direct quote was, "This game is a Marvel video game's Iron Man."
Right.
Like
makes sense.
Yeah. Like. Makes me all tingly inside.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the Taskmaster stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Taskmaster shit is boring as fuck.
Which, real quick, is such a random villain to put in that game, because like Taskmaster started out as a Iron Man villain, I think.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No, he appeared in I thought it was an Avengers book that he first appears in.
Okay, then he's an Avengers villain. Yeah,
but yeah,
I would have been happy with
a very obscure character.
Right. And no, what I meant was like it's like putting, I don't know, like fucking Toy Man in a Batman game.
It was very random, and he was kind of creepy.
It's not a villain that is at all remotely associated with Spider-Man.
He in this game is what fucking Azrael
Riddler.
is
He's Riddler.
in the
Azrael.
in the what was that one called?
That's Arkham
was
City.
It Origins?
Arkham. No, not He wasn't in Origins. It was the last one, Arkham Knight.
Yeah, it was just like it was really random, and he was kind of creepy about it. He's like, "I'm always watching you." Like, whoa, like stop, man.
You're watching me poop.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like you could have interchanged Punisher for Taskmaster, and it would have been a way better.
You could have done anybody really. And
instead of bombs, it would have been like Punisher's setting up to snipe up and kill a bunch of mobsters.
Or him and Daredevil not realizing they're on the same side.
That's
because you have Hell's Kitchen right there.
God, I almost want I want Insomniac to do Daredevil real bad. I would love a Daredevil game.
It'd be kind of like this, just no webs.
I mean, their next one will, I would imagine, would probably be like Iron Man or something like that.
But Daredevil would be literally this game, but just
I'd be happier with a Hulk game. I think the Hulk game could get fucking crazy. You get with destructible buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally punch a hole through the Empire State Building. I feel like that could be a game that like I could really I could unwind a little bit.
Maybe like a New Age Rampage.
Yeah, but better looking. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
I think it could work well. But yeah, I think we're all in agreement. There's very little. There's some, but there's very little to hate on about the Spider-Man for PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very little.
All right. Hypothetical. If any of you did not already own a PlayStation, would you, if you got to play Spider-Man, would you have bought a PlayStation to own Spider-Man?
Yes.
Do you think it's a...
I'll flat out
So
I would have bought it just because of being a Spider-Man fan.
I'm too big of a Spider-Man fan to not.
Yeah.
I know 3 people who bought a PlayStation 4 just for this game.
That's amazing. I agree. Like if I didn't already own a PlayStation, this is definitely a worthy of owning the system. Not necessarily the Spider-Man system, because don't go broke. Just get yourself a PS4. It'll be fine.
I would have. If I didn't already have a PlayStation, I would have bought that.
Or if you do,
I would have pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
So say, or if you do have it, tell me. I'm going to come steal it from you.
So yeah, if you haven't already, get out there and play Spider-Man for PS4, or go get a PS4 and then play Spider-Man for PS4.
I'm not gonna lie. I almost bought.
I went
PS4.
to buy it and they were already sold out of pre-orders.
I'm regretting it now, but I had one on pre-order.
All right, so who's up?
Look, I think we're all in agreement. Spider-Man 4 for PS4 is super awesome, but it's time for Hateful Grateful.
Hateful Grateful. Hateful Grateful.
God, it's so awful.
It truly was Hateful Grateful last week.
Who's up? It is Moa's turn for Hateful Grateful.
Timothy?
Let me get my note up real quick.
Timothy.
Tim O.T.
I'm just going to say whatever it is. I'm hateful. Fuck you.
Hate it.
So,
hated it.
This is a big story from last week. We haven't discussed it as a group, but I was going to bring up bat penis and how last week in Batman the Damned issue 1, we saw the Batman's full Monty, and people are uproared about it to a point where it is now censored digitally, and any second prints are going to have it blacked out.
All right. Let's just get something on the table right now other than Batman's penis. Let's just talk about this outright.
Sure.
I didn't see any of these people complaining when Batman was showing his penis to all 3 Robins. And now you're all mad because you had to see it. Oh, Batman's been molesting kids for years, but now it's me and I have a problem with it. You know what? You're fucking hypocrites, all of you.
Fake news.
Fake news.
I don't think it's really that necessary that you got to bleep it out.
I mean, it's a graphic novel, right? I mean, so
it's literally called the Black Label, intended for mature audiences,
mature readers.
Right. Like I'm not saying like it's needed per se, but like
there is only
artists are allowed to do whatever they want with their art,
and that's exactly what they did with the Black Label. They're like, we're going to take our best and brightest artist and give them whatever you want to do. Just go. It's not in the continuity, so just go with it.
Well, their reason is that it's not central to the story. was Harley Quinn topless in White Knight like 6 months ago?
I know.
Central to the story.
Nobody complains about that.
I don't care.
Right. Like I don't care. Like it. Whatever.
I guess my thing was like, is the controversy?
No, it's not needed.
I'm hateful towards people that are like outraged because who gives a shit?
Right.
Like get over yourselves.
We've all seen, these parts for men.
Right. I see it in the mirror every morning.
I mean, only one reason why I'm grateful that they censored this, because I spent $6 to buy the book and it's now going for like $80 on eBay.
someone got the artist to sign it and it sold for $1,000 on eBay.
Yeah, it's blowing up
Wait,
because everybody wants the moment you censor something. Go to the dick page. Right. The moment you either censor a comic book or pull it back because of something, the value just explodes.
Yeah.
This says a lot about Batman fans that like somebody paid $1,000 for a signed copy of a graphic comic of Batman's dick in it. Like, I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't want to point fingers at Batman fans, but fuck off.
All right.
I'm kidding. I like Batman.
So we're hateful that people are being douchebags about it, but grateful that it ups the resale value. So
yeah, this is my second one is it's a subject that I don't think we've really super talked about amongst ourselves, but how do we feel about Joaquin Phoenix's Joker makeup?
Okay.
Personally, I like it because it's very it's almost mimicky of John Wayne Gacy's clown makeup, and that's kind of I dig that.
And that's where I was gonna go with it. Like if this is like a horror story kind of thing, I'm okay with it. Or like if this is like maybe him as a clown, but then I'm worried we're getting his origin. So I'm like a little worried.
Getting his origin.
Yeah, I'm like really worried about that. Like, I don't want the origin.
I'm not talking about the movie itself. I'm just talking.
I know, but I'm talking about the makeup too. Like if it's gonna be like the villain, the Joker, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Right.
I think it's pretty obvious that it is him as either a clown job or some kind. It'll be part of his origin, and then it's going to stick with him. I have a feeling we'll probably end up with something very reminiscent of Ledger, where it's going to start to get rubbed off.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's either that or it's like it's before he goes into the acid or whatever where he gets the white.
Yeah, and that's what I want everyone to.
The chemicals.
Everybody's like, we don't need an origin. We don't want his origin. No origin. No origin. You fucking got his origin in '89, and nobody fucking batted an eye at it. And then nobody batted an eye that they replaced Joe Chill with the Joker as being the murderer of the Waynes.
Right.
So it's standalone movie. It's not part of the DCEU, although fucking scrap that already too.
Right.
I'm actually going in with an open mind on it, and I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised.
I just don't like the look of it. If that's him as like the Joker, I hate it.
I don't think it's him as the Joker.
Would you choose to be open-minded about?
They're not going to blow their nut.
Not to be open-minded about the
I'm just saying, like.
I mean, I thought. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
I'm just saying, you're like cool with like 9-year-olds, like clown party Joker, Joaquin Phoenix. And you're not cool with like fucking like half the anime I recommend to you. Like, what the fuck? Like, you biased son of a bitch.
You're like you don't like these raisins, but you won't eat gravel. Give me something comparable.
What?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that was non-comparable. Oh, you're open-minded about a Joker movie, but you don't like some anime. What the literal fuck was that?
I'm just saying, like you look at Joaquin Phoenix and this fucking like clown. He literally looks like a kid's party clown. He doesn't look like Joker to me.
Exactly. That is not Joker. Do you honestly think they're going to blow their nut and show you the Joker?
I don't
know what they're going to do.
This movie's fucking stupid. This movie should not. This is the Solo of the DC universe. Said it.
I'm just saying, like I said,
the fact that it's not part of the DC universe is what has my hopes up because I am turning my back on the DCEU. My back is turned.
I'm pretty mad at them too.
I'm thinking we're getting like optimistic, hateful.
I like the makeup
because it's not the Joker makeup.
I liked that 30-second video they put out on Friday. Yeah. Like that music to it, like. That song fits it perfectly for me.
But you won't even hear that in the movie, probably.
I don't give a fuck about that. I want to make sure that he's the fucking Joker. If it's the Joker, he needs to be the Joker. And right now, I'm not getting that. I'm getting Johnny Cash in a clown suit.
That's why I said, like, if this is like like a lead up portion to it, or if it's like a horror based film, I'm fine with it.
I mean, this is all just off a 30-second video.
I know. Hey, we're here to have opinions, Tim.
Yeah,
even when they're wrong.
Fuck you and your opinions.
My opinion is not wrong, sir.
No, yeah, I'm with Sweeney. Oh my god, I'm with Sweeney on this, man. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah,
I mean, I just because lightning struck with Heath Ledger does not mean that this is going to be a guaranteed win.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's not like you said, Andy. I'm hoping it's not him as like the Joker, because that would be terrible.
Right. I don't know.
You're probably right.
To know where the Joker's from. The Joker's scary because you don't know what his real motivations are. He's like Pennywise, but without the supernatural shit. That's what the Joker is. So when you fucking like give Pennywise an origin story, like, fuck that clown. Let's beat his ass with baseball bats in a pit. Like, that's what happened when you take away like the unknown. Like, that's what makes the Joker amazing. Now I'm going to get to see Joaquin Phoenix pull off shitty bank robberies while squirting his chest flat. Oh, we're going back to 60s Joker. Fuck this.
No, I think we'll get a very reminiscent of like maybe the Red Hood origin. He's going to be a stand-up comedian / clown. He's going to flounder, fail.
I don't know who your medicinal dealer is, but I want you to hook me up with them, because whatever you're on right now.
You don't think they're going to touch that at all?
No, not at all. They're not touching Red Hood.
No, they're not going to make him Red Hood. I said they're going to touch on he was a comedian. He wasn't making it, so they talked him into doing crime.
So it's Killing Joke.
Killing Joke. That's what they're going to do.
I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think you're going to see You're not going to get to see Joker Red Hood. They'll confuse people.
No, they're not going to do Red Hood. I'm just saying he's going to get into crime because he's down on his luck.
I mean, probably he'll probably be like a shitty comedian, like in the Killing Joke, like in Killing Joke. And if they do Killing Joke, meaning they don't do
he's
Batman,
a clown for a circus, and that's why he has this clown makake on, and he hates his life.
You know what would be kind of cool is if they had him like in a fucking like loony bin. And he's talking to his therapist, and he gives him like 5 different origin stories.
Right.
And none of them make sense. And at the end, he's just like, fuck you. I'm the Joker. That would be cool.
I can see that.
In the first time of history, it was all a dream will actually not be a shitty ending. It will not be a cliche ending. If this is like the Joker telling a bullshit, fuck with you story, and you fell for it, then that is the perfect Joker origin story. But if this is like canonized, no.
But they already said it's not canon. Again, it's a standalone one-off.
I don't care.
It's an Elseworld. Think of it as an Elseworld.
In an Elseworld, it's an origin story for the Joker. There are typically none, except for maybe like Flashpoint. Like that's like blatant.
Or Killing Joke, or Batman 89, or.
But none of that is like canonized. It's all like crazy. Him just fucking with everyone. You never like. That's never like defined as the Joker's origin. They even changed like there's more than one Joker, and then the next day he's like a fucking evil spirit. Like, like the Joker's origin is completely changed over and over and over again because he's fucking with us.
I take it like when the Nolan ones, when he's like, "You want to know how I got my scars?" And every time it's a different story.
Yeah,
this is just one of those stories. It doesn't have to be canon.
Then awesome,
exactly.
Okay, no, that's not what you were saying before. You were saying if this is a canon.
No, I've never said once that this was a canon. I even just said this is not canon.
He said it multiple times.
Multiple times.
It's not canon.
Again, you're not multitasking well.
Shut up, Andy. I'm multitasking fine.
All right.
And I didn't hear you say that, but whatever. What's the third one?
Next.
All right, the third one. For the Birds of Prey movie, they cast the woman. This one I don't know who she is. Journey Smollett Bell is Black Canary. She plays on a show called Underground. But Mary Elizabeth Winstead is Huntress in the Birds of Prey movie.
I don't know who you those people are.
Three don't cares in like a row tonight. I'm sorry, bro. Like I just don't.
I don't even know who those are. Who those women?
Mary Elizabeth Winstead was she's
Ramona Flowers.
Ramona Flowers and Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, I never seen that movie.
Oh,
you have actually.
You
were literally in the room with us when we watched it. Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
I was not there that night.
He wasn't there that night.
Thank you though.
Was he not there?
No,
he was in his house.
No, it wasn't. It was at Andy's house.
Andy's house.
Oh man, where was I? Okay, cool. Never mind.
You guys had a wedding.
But thank you though.
You were there in spirit.
Yeah.
We thought.
Anyway, who are these women?
I saw you.
Who are these women?
Well,
I
then.
just explained who
Yeah,
they are.
This
So,
is I don't care.
Birds of Prey is.
I
Like,
don't really care about the Birds of Prey.
Huntress.
Birds of Prey movie. I don't
It's
care.
going to be Huntress, Black Canary, Harley Quinn. Usually Batgirl's in it in the comics. I don't know why she's not in the movie.
I gotta tell you guys, thanks to Spider-Man the game, I'm with Andy, man. I'm kind of like DC at this point. Fuck off, man.
Yeah,
what have you done for me lately?
I just want Flashpoint.
I don't know that I want. I don't know that I really.
Reboot.
Let's start over.
I don't think that a Birds of Prey movie is needed
Yeah, I don't.
right now.
Where's the build up to this? Like, why are we getting this? Like, I don't.
Because Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is popular. And
She wanted
the only successful
highlight
thing
the
out of
female DC
Well, yeah,
characters.
I can appreciate
the
that.
only successful thing to come out of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and I can appreciate like they want to actually, emphasize the female characters in DC. Cool, that's good. But like, do you want to just dive right into a Birds of Prey? Like,
no.
Give us.
I mean, they're also talking about a Joker Harley Quinn like movie.
That's better than this.
No,
because
man,
it's
why are we
Leto.
dancing around the fucking bush here,
Oh,
gentlemen? Like, how the fuck do we not have a Batman movie? You can't do this shit and not have a fucking Batman
Or a
movie.
Man of Steel 2.
Yeah, what the fuck? You are literally like building the outside of the house without making the fucking foundation and putting in like goddamn beam with weight support. Like, you're just gonna put the shingling up first. Fuck off! Like, give me my Batman movie.
Right.
We're gonna do a War Machine movie before Iron Man.
Right. Because that makes sense.
Yeah. No. So DC, you put the fucking cart before the horse, man. Let's just start over. And somebody, please, like, just wake Warner Brothers up and just take it. Disney, fuck it. Buy DC. And
Right. Like, just Come on, Marvel, just step in. Disney, let's just make it.
Give me what I want.
Oh, you imagine that crossover event movie? The Justice League versus the Avengers.
That wouldn't be a fight, dude. Man, Wonder Woman and Superman.
Like they have superpowers and
Vision wouldn't last
Vision.
5 seconds because Martian
and
Manhunter.
Scarlet Witch. Like Scarlet Witch is magic, I guess. So
Superman's weakness.
Yep.
That's like not magic, motherfucker. She's a mutant. That's not magic.
Oh, okay, true.
It's mutant power.
Okay.
Well,
never mind.
Well, that was Hateful Grateful.
Hateful Grateful. Hateful Grateful.
Hateful Grateful. All it did this week is make me like realize that I'm really on not speaking terms with DC.
Yeah. Actually, but when I came up with it, I didn't even realize they were all 3 DC.
I'm blocking DC.
I was just trying to come up with what was relevant in the past week.
No, you did good, Sid.
DC needs to fix itself before we can work on this relationship. You need to go do you, and then we'll do couples.
Do we have to watch Aquaman?
Do we? Yes, we do have to watch Aquaman.
I think Aquaman will actually be decent.
I think it's going to be good, man. Do you have to see Shazam? Maybe not.
Listen. I'm looking more forward to Aquaman than I am Venom or Dark Phoenix.
I told you my Venom expectations are very, very low. Like,
I'm hearing really good things.
I'm excited for Venom. So
I heard it tested well. I did hear.
I heard it is doing really fucking good.
I'm really excited for Venom.
I haven't heard anything with test audiences with Venom. I've heard Aquaman was tested good with audiences.
I've heard Venom got good, and I heard that they dropped it to PG-13. And this is rumor, and maybe Tim, can you confirm this? That the MCU is heavily influencing the Venom to potentially bring him into the MCU, like they did with Spider-Man.
I'm sure it is, but like Sony,
and that's why it went from an R to a PG-13.
Sony did that movie almost entirely, so that I don't know.
Yeah, I highly doubt that Marvel hasn't had some kind of hand in it with them getting like the actors that they did.
Right. I mean, I'm sure because Tom Hardy is a huge get for the MCU, but I don't know anything.
And they're like, oh, rated R.
Right.
And then Marvel's like, well, we might bring you in. Okay, PG-13.
Right.
I think that what we're talking about here is maybe the removal of like nudity or an actual scene where like Venom go with like extreme gore.
Yeah, where like he's like literally biting someone's head off or something like that.
I do not think that the lowering of a rating is in this situation is going to detract from quality of film. In this case, this is not. You're not going to go see a Venom movie because it's ultra violence. It's not fucking Clockwork Orange. You're going to see him like get into cool symbiote fights and make things out of his hands and maybe bite a couple guys, but he's not going to like rip their fucking lungs out and shit and go. I think there might have been some I think you might actually see him eat the guy's head, but maybe not like in one bite, if you know what I'm saying. Like it takes a couple chunks there, and that's pretty fucked up. Like, kids are going to see this film. That's extreme. I think your concern is valid, but I don't think they're taking out anything from plot or things are going to make it look good. You know what I mean? So
I'm excited for it. So
I think it's going to be good. And I saw an interview with Tom Hardy and the director. There was an Australian talk show. Those of you who are looking to see like Carnage, come see the movie and tell us what you think. Like this is he signed on for 3 films, so you're getting your Carnage. This is a huge setup for
Carnage will be your post, either very end or post credit.
It will be, and it's got to be Woody Harrelson, man,
because there is way too much. All the Venom merchandise is out there right now. The pop figs, the action figures, the Marvel Legend figures, and every single line has a Carnage.
Carnage in it, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
so
this is literally that we're smacking you in the face. It's Carnage is in this.
We're not going to show you, but they're not going to like blow their load, man.
Right.
It's sort of like saying, "Hey, yo, girl, I got some Cavassier and like some really awesome like Quaaludes back at my place. Like, come over, hang out." And then the show will be like, "You actually have these things, yeah." Like they're making promises, but they're not like throwing it at you right off the bat. You know, they're not being too easy. They're like, "We'll work on this. You got this.
I'll get you a little tease here."
Yeah. And if it is Woody fucking Harrelson as Carnage, then I am a full-on Marvel fanboy. I'm on board. I'll actually be super amazed.
Absolutely.
And throw in some Spider-Man in one of those sequels, Andy. Then you get your giant white spider symbol.
That's the origin is definitely my hesitation to this film. But in some of the CG, it's come a long way since the first trailer. Some of it still is, but we'll see. We'll see how it looks on the big screen. We got our tickets for Friday.
Awesome. Oh, this Friday, really? Is it this Friday?
No, next Friday.
Week.
Oh, phew.
So next weekend. After that, we'll talk it.
We'll talk it.
We'll talk.
We'll say things.
All right.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a blast talking about Spider-Man, and for any of our listeners out there, this game changed the game. This game changed the game.
This game changed the game.
Like,
go buy a PS4.
I'm gonna go buy a PS4 Pro just so I can play it in multiple parts of my house.
Yeah.
So you can buy all the force.
But there he is. All right, cool. So thank you again for tuning into the Hateful Geeks. I am one of your many hosts, Phil.
And this is Sweeney.
I'm Andy.
And this is Tim.
And that's the toilet.
And we're going down.
All right, gentlemen.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!